Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Airway Kingdom Network. You're currently on Music, Movie, Sports, and Stuff podcast, the interview edition. Now, Justin, I know that you're listening. Can you throw up the logo of the 1001 Cryptid series? There. 1001 Cryptic Tales, a spectacular horror series. Everybody who's been watching the show knows that the network is running quite a few interviews and commentaries in the horror realm. Thank you, Justin. And we are going to continue that today with the esteemed director, the man of many talents, the man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Cavalline. Ryan.
Thank you so much for having me.
Before we let Ryan tell us all about his thoughts, his view on life, and his directorial aims, I want to also talk about Big Hoss. Big Hoss, how you doing today, bud?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Excellent. We're going to have a really good show today. So, Ryan, I know a little bit about you, but those watching do not. So why don't you introduce them? When did you start directing? What is your main goal of a director? Or are you just doing it to pay the bills?
Oh, boy. Well, that's definitely not happening. Bills aren't getting paid from filmmaking, that's for sure. I've been directing since I was 18. I got 26 years in the micro-budget film world. And it's more a love, passion, therapy for me. It's therapy. So that's why I keep doing it.
I hear you. And on this network, we're obviously really pushing forward on positive mental health, and anything that gets you to that positivity, we're all for, even if it means losing your shirt on a movie. So
happens all the time.
But the genre of the small to micro budget film has been around as long as film itself, going back to the 30s and 40s all the way to now. Do you have a director or a producer, somebody that was in that same genre that you aspired to be or gave you some sort of motivation to become a director?
When I was starting to get into filmmaking, I followed a lot of independent filmmakers. Like those guys were my idols. The guys out there doing it on their own. They were scraping by, getting money together, make movies. Like at the time, probably the Kevin Smith story, because he was the kid from Jersey who made it big, and Robert Rodriguez, and even Troy Duffy, who did the Boondock Saints. I mean, that's a Hollywood story there. I mean, the guy he was a bartender, ended up making a movie, and Eric Stanzi and Todd Sheets, like all those guys were like my heroes back then. Like, hey, if they're out there doing it, I can do it. Like they were my inspiration.
There's a long history of people like Herschel Gordon Lewis, Lloyd Kaufman, Roger Corman, Don Dohler. Right. These producers and directors, literally Jesus Franco, Jean Rollin, who, if they got somewhere to shoot the film, they might as well shoot 3 because they're there. Yeah. Is there any small budget horror film that's your favorite? Like, do you have a small time independent film that you go, I'd love to do Carnival of Souls, of that ilk?
Probably a film you never heard of was called Gut Pile, which was this little indie film, but it was so Evil Dead-ish that I loved it. To this day, it's one of my favorite films, and it was put out by SRS Cinema back in like 2000. But it was a small micro-budget film, and I just, to this day, I praise it. It was so good, and the director, Jerry, I can't remember his last name. I still talk to him every once in a while, and it was like the small budget films that no one ever heard of that were my like personal favorites. That I inspired to be that. I'm like, if those guys can do it, I can do it. But like on a bigger budget, like Boondock Saints was a huge one. Like people don't realize what a low budget film that was.
Yep. Now, I mean, that's in the action vein, but it's anybody that's making a film under a certain amount, say 50,000 or whatever, everybody's dealing with the same budgetary restraints and things. But
Right.
before I get into that too far, Jace, is there anything you would like to ask Ryan?
Yeah, what was your favorite film scene to film?
Mine
Yeah,
personally,
when you're doing a film, what is your favorite type of scene?
I love doing the action horror stuff. Like a guy running with a chainsaw, I'm a happy camper. That's a great thing. Like that's stuff. I mean, you could spend all day shooting just action scenes and then walk away with like a minute worth of film. But I
Similar.
love that stuff. I love when they're running, chasing. It tickles my heart.
I have a similar story of when I went to one of those local scare haunted houses.
Yeah.
I remember we were walking out of this building, and all of a sudden, this guy with a chainsaw comes running at us, and everybody else started running. I just stopped and started laughing. I'm just like, "Oh my god!" I see everybody scattering and running. I'm just like, "That's the coolest thing I've ever seen."
I stand there and flap like this is going to sound bad, like an autistic kid just is so happy, and I'm like, "There's a guy with a chainsaw. This is great," you know.
Yeah, I can remember going to one of those haunts at a local castle a couple hours down the road at Halloween time, and they were doing their thing, and the guy comes up to me and I said, "You're doing a really good job." It didn't scare me, but I enjoy it, you know.
It's better than Christmas.
Yeah, to me,
Yeah,
every day of the year is Halloween, so it doesn't matter.
absolutely.
So I'm sure you're probably the same way.
Oh, God, yeah.
Now, whereabouts are you located out of, Ryan?
I'm about kind of in the middle of the state of Pennsylvania, kind of north
Okay.
west. I'm like 2 hours to Pittsburgh, 2 hours to Erie.
So a certain very well-known independent film was shot not that far from you
No.
in Night of the Living Dead.
Yes.
Does a director like Romero or Herschel Gordon Lewis, how have they influenced you as a small-time movie horror director?
I mean, those guys are legends. I mean, they're especially in Pittsburgh. I mean, Night of the Living Dead is like the holy grail down there, and like they were big influences. I'm like, those guys came from nothing really. Like, they scraped money together to make a film, and like I always said, if they can do it, I can do it. Like I can do it, and you got to put that in your headset when you're doing these things. Even though maybe you shoot the shittiest movie ever, but hey, you did it. It's done. Someone's gonna view it. Maybe the next one, but. Those guys were huge. Even Tom Savini, I got stories about him. But I mean, like, yeah, they were right down the road, and I'm like, they're making films. I mean, why can't I? So it was a huge push to be able to go do that.
So what you need to do is to create your film and forget to copyright it, so that everybody can
No,
use it.
no, that's one thing that sticks in my head. You copyright that sucker when you're done, even if it's a poor movie. Copyright that.
But it worked for them because it was back in the day when they had the theaters where they throw them on all the drive-in signs, and it'd be on the late night TV throughout the 70s, and like it happened to work out for them, but not necessarily good business advice. Let's just say that.
You think a lawyer could have did something for them about that, you know, or something.
Jace, do you have a follow-up question to your haunted house story?
To direct a film.
To direct a film?
To direct the film.
Yeah, what's it like being the guy behind the camera? Is it a power trip? Is it more of a let's see how the artistic vision turns out? What's it like?
Sometimes I don't even know what it's extremely going. I mean, I look at the locations before we get there, and then I try to set up shots and how we're going to do it. My head is running 1,000 miles an hour, so I'm constantly thinking, making sure we got every shot because I'm horrible at writing stuff down. But I think my biggest thing throughout the whole day is to be extremely grateful that these people are here, not getting paid much. I'm feeding them pizza. They're spending the day to try to make something I have in my head. So I try to remind myself, even my girlfriend will be like, these people are here for you for the day. So just, calm down. It's okay. We'll get it all done. And I just try to keep that in my head all day. I'm grateful. I'm doing something I love, and these people are here to make that vision happen. So I'm not really bossy. I'm just like, hey, do you mind doing that again? Let's try it this way or that way. And just in my head, I'm constantly there all day until I'm burnt out.
Yeah. And as long as it's done professionally, I don't think anybody has any issues at all. I have heard some horror stories on independent films, and because they're non-union, nobody's watching them, and they're just doing what they do. But I'm sure you're not part of any of that. I'm just saying I've heard that it has happened before.
Oh yeah. I've heard nightmare stories, but keep it in your head that you're grateful. Be grateful for this. Actually, the biggest problem I always have is I never have enough time. Like I might have a location just for a few hours, and it's like, holy shit, we got to shoot this much stuff in this amount of time. So I'm just constantly racing. It's a bad thing.
So if that's the case, do you ever have takes that you wouldn't necessarily be as your top pick, but you got to move on to get to the next one because you have to shoot it?
Pretty much, you're like, that's what we're going to get figured out in editing.
now talking about edit. Sorry, go ahead, Jace.
Are you in a filming location right now?
Kind of.
I was going to say that. I mean, that could either be a background or a background for a movie.
It's just a background, but I'm actually in my studio preparing to shoot for Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So while we're talking about, it's funny, you talk about, little mistakes can be brushed up in editing, continuity issues, that sort of thing. What is your opinion of the use of AI and CGI in films? Now, I know they're two different.
They're two
but
different.
They're also a bit of blended the same.
They're two different things, and I don't understand how for years I've used CGI. I've hired guys to do my work with CGI and what have you. It's been fine all these years. You're using CGI. I don't have the money to go blow up a building or car or whatever. So you go to CGI. Yep. We all know it's a little cheesy, but hey, I don't have the money for the budget, so we're going to go this route. Because in my head,
and I mean, as long as it shows what you're looking for.
Right. Yeah. So in the past year with this whole AI stuff, I won't lie, I've used one shot of AI in my recent film, and I was talking to another guy, and he's like, "Oh, you use AI in all your stuff." I'm like, "No," and there's nothing. Personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with it if you're trying to get your visual to where it needs to be. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, if I watch a whole movie AI, yeah, I got a problem with some of that. But if it's there as a tool for you to use as a filmmaker to up your film or to make the visual you want, there's nothing wrong with that. And like people hate on these AI posters. Listen, I have artists I use for the good stuff. And if I want to put together a shitty ass poster real quick just to throw up about a Facebook post, I should be able to do that without getting criticized. That's just stupidity. No offense, but some of the newer filmmakers or kids I've talked to, they don't know how good they fucking have it. They just don't.
Oh, I know.
Hey, let's go back 20 years. I'll show you how hard it was to do all this on Photoshop and anything else.
Think back to the late 70s where everybody was doing it on Super 8 films.
Yeah. You have no idea what it's like to edit deck to deck or edit film on a film.
I always say as long as it looks better than Birdemic, you're fine.
And you're fine. But yeah, it's a catch-22. I really don't see a problem with it. It's just how you're using it.
Well, my only problem with it is it doesn't really apply to you because you don't have the budget. But the higher budgeted films where you might use AI to replace an actor,
that's a problem.
That's an issue to me.
I agree with you.
Yeah, like it's one thing to make a background and have it look better, or a little bit of fire or whatever, but to replace a character, I think that goes too far.
Yeah, I agree with you. Don't take away from the actors. Don't take away from this and that. But I mean, if you have no money, just use it to your best knowledge and not going extreme with it.
Get to know corn syrup and red food dye.
Yes, the old days. Yes, go get some melons and fill them up with goo and blow them open like brains, and that was fun.
I remember flipping through a few years ago YouTube, just killing time, and Troma actually had a video with some of their crew sitting around their kitchen table making blood. And they showed you the recipe with all the sticky stuff and the dye they dropped in, and yeah, it was amusing.
That was like art. That was fun. You know, I remember those days of painting melons and doing all that stuff and putting the tubes down shirts to shoot the blood out.
I mean, it's not that long ago David Cronenberg was using that exact same stuff for scanners. Right? It's like the same thing, right?
So, like, kids don't have the new filmmakers have no idea how lucky to have
it. I'll take you there. Jace, is there anything else you want to ask him?
I think I'll have to think of one.
Think about it? Okay, that's fine. Just give me a heads up when you have something you want to talk about, because I can talk to Ryan about a lot.
Yeah.
What do you think is one of the biggest challenges, not only just to micro budget films, but to films in general, that the general public might not know about?
I don't think people realize how much work goes into a film like that. I wear 6 different hats, and you're flipping through hats, and how hard it is to get everyone together, one location. You got to find locations. You got to make sure your paperwork's straight. That's the biggest thing. Make sure you have the damn paperwork straight. And even when you're done with a film, you're not done. You still got to deal with the whole distribution end of things. Are you doing it yourself, or are you going through someone else? And by the time you get that film on, I'll just say streaming, it could be a year from now or better. And by then you're moving into something else, and you're just kind of forgotten about that film. You don't forget about it, but you're kind of moved on, you know? So I don't think people realize that getting the money together, shooting it, edit, the whole thing, it could take a year and a half. You just don't know.
How do you find a location to film at?
Yeah, I was going to follow that up with, do you do much in the way of guerrilla filmmaking?
Yes, but let's not say that.
I wasn't going to give locations, but to follow Jace's question, what if you're looking for a crazy death scene? Where do you go to find a good location? You're looking at barns, you're looking at caves, you're looking at houses. What are you looking for?
It depends what I'm looking for. I mean, I'm up here in Pennsylvania. I've got access to so many cool locations: old factories, barns, caves, ponds, forests, whatever. You just got to make sure you have permits in certain situations. But so a lot of times I'll go to the Pennsylvania Film Commission and be like, "Hey, I'm an independent filmmaker. This is what I'm looking for," and they'll help you. They will literally help you. I have a great relationship with the Pennsylvania Film Commission. They want to help micro budget filmmakers. They want you to succeed, and they'll send you whatever you need. Remember, you got to go get that insurance, and you got to be covered for the day. Doesn't mean you need to have SAG actors there, but just be covered for the day, and you can get film insurance pretty cheap for like a day or two, and that might be all you need.
And that's the thing a lot of people don't realize. It might cost whatever it is. You get a budget of $75,000, but you've got to take out insurance. You have to make sure everything is safe. You got to keep up your safety procedures. You got to make sure you have all the paperwork done. You have to make sure you have food for your crew. You have to, make sure you have a solid electrical outlet that will run electric. You've got a lot on your plate that Joe Blow does not understand at all.
Right. There's a zillion things to go through. Nice thing is, up in this area, a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're making a movie. Well, yeah, you can use the spot for the day, sign a release, waivers, show me your insurance, and you're usually good."
Or how do you deal with you're shooting a scene in a forest, and then all of a sudden some lady walks by who's walking her dog? That kind of thing can happen, right?
I had a really bad situation like that one time. We were filming at a farmhouse out in the middle of nowhere. There was a main road that kind of went by, and I had girls in chains and blood and crazy madman in a mask running around, and a woman was jogging past where we were filming. She never seen the camera. She took off screaming. Next thing I know, state police were showing up, and I guess there were guys out in the field scoping us with guns, thinking we were lunatics that had some women chained up. thank God the state police showed up. I explained everything, showed him everything, and he's like, "Oh, all right, have a good day," and left. But that's how something small can turn into a big event. And next time, that was just kind of a thing. Make sure you have signs outside, filming in progress, not real.
But the question is, that's the most authentic fear you will have ever shot. Did you use that?
Unfortunately, no. I shut everything down because the cops were there, and I was more worried about that situation. But the funny part is, we were out in the middle of nowhere. I've shot in the local town or city, people screaming, running. No one says a word. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. State police were there.
It reminds me of, that scene in the Blues Brothers where they're singing "Shake Your Tail Feather," and everybody's out there on the. There's a part where there's a guy up on a bridge dancing. That was spontaneous. That was not them. They just used it because he saw everybody dancing, and he was like, "Okay, I got to get into the act,"
Sometimes little gems are just there, and you just catch them. It's great.
Well, it's that same thing with Texas Chainsaw. That scene at the beginning on the highway, and there's the armadillo. That was no prop. That was a dead armadillo.
What a way to start the film, right? There's a dead armadillo.
That's great. You can literally see the steam rising off the armadillo as it's laying on the. So now we can get into, what are you working on currently, if you're allowed to say?
Oh yeah, you should always be talking about what projects you're doing. You should always be social media.
I said that because you might not want to reveal something yet if you still have got something to create.
I've been shooting. We started shooting a bunch of short films this year because I kind of wanted to do like a creep show film. And originally it was supposed to be 5 films, and I'm up to 12 short films. And it was supposed to be a small little film, and it took off, and now it's huge. That all year we've been shooting these just short films, and it's called 13 Steps to Hell. And I've shot so many that it might end up in 2 films. We might have a part 1, part 2.
I was going to say, what started as a 40-minute short is now a 2-hour film.
yeah. And the nice thing about all the shorts, we kept them really under 10 minutes, which was the coolest thing. So like in 2 days we could have it all shot, or 1 day. But it was just something I always wanted to do. I had a bunch of shorts from years ago I shot, but I wanted to redo them. I'm like, here's my chance to go do a creep show movie.
All you have to do is call Romero's widow and Stephen King.
Yeah.
And just get a little bit of info. So let's talk about something that a lot of people don't talk about. What's the camaraderie like amongst filmmakers of your ilk in terms of a micro budget? Like, you're not going to go walk up to Wes Anderson, but the people that are shooting these under $100,000 films, what kind? Is it almost a brotherhood?
Back in 2000, when we were shooting films on digital video, there was like a group of us, and we all were like supportive of each other, like very supportive, and we'd watch each other's films and talk about each other's films, and it was helping each other out as much as possible. I've noticed over the years it's kind of fell off. It's really not what it used to be. Maybe because we're just older and the younger filmmakers are coming up, but I try to talk to a lot of younger filmmakers, like what they're doing, or they'll ask me questions and stuff, but you just don't feel that brotherly love anymore. It just seems like everyone's out for themselves. And I talk to other filmmakers who are like, yeah, we shot 3 this year. I'm like, what type of quality of film did you shoot? Like, you shot 3 films this year? I mean, what you do? Just shoot it all in the kitchen and we're done, or what?
Well, it could be. Is it 3 short films or 3 95-minute films?
Yeah, 95-minute films. Like, I guess the brotherly love just isn't what it used to be.
It's just not. Like, if you walk into a con and you see maybe a couple people behind a booth that is that common, or are you there like you and I? Oh God, there's David Naughton.
Years ago, like it used to be like that. We'd go to Cinema Wasteland, which was in Ohio. That was a big con, and it would be that way. Hey, it was like a family reunion. You get to see everyone, hang out, talk about what projects you're working on. few years ago, I was back there, and like some of the people I used to know were there, but it just wasn't the same. And it was like just no one really wanted to indulge too much. And I'm not saying this in a mean way, but it seemed like everyone had their own chip on their shoulder that our stuff's better or some shit. I don't know. Like it's a competition. It's not.
Well, like I'm almost wondering if it's a reflection of society as a whole, where you do more things individually. You don't even have to talk to people to acquire things or to hire an actor. You can do it all virtually, or you can do it just literally on the computer. You don't even have to, you have minimal interactions. Whereas in the old days, you had to find the crew. You had to go out and find your location.
Social media ruined a lot of it. It really did. I think just like even old filmmakers I used to follow, like I don't see them thumbing up our stuff, and I try to support their stuff, but not that that's a competition, like I said, but it just, maybe we're just older and don't give a shit. I don't know.
Well, and it's the same philosophy we have about podcasting, where there's a huge pie there. There's lots of room for everybody. Yeah. You don't got to be a jerk. And this is my.
They just don't. It just doesn't seem like anyone wants to see you succeed. I guess the thing.
Which is what Airway Kingdom Network is trying to do. We talk about the positive. So now I know that you are a smaller director, but do you ever get noticed in public? Does anybody ever said, "Hey, you're the guy that did XYZ"?
Sometimes in the neighborhood or in another town, they'll be like, "Oh, you're that director that you make horror movies." Mostly just, "Hey, you're that guy that makes the horror movies." Okay. Yeah.
You don't have women running up for hugs.
No, that's probably for the best. But even some convention.
So for the uninitiated. I was going to say, for the uninitiated, what are some of the cool things about being a horror director that we might not know?
It's cool because it's such an art form. It's just such a different art form. I mean, people paint, sculpt, draw, write, whatever. Filmmaking is such an art form in like a zillion different directions, and you got to suck it all together. And I don't think people realize how hard it is. I mean, it's not just taking a camera and running out in the woods and filming something, but you could do that. It's just you're wearing so many hats, and it's so much different art in each part.
Absolutely. Jace, did you think of anything?
I already asked the other question I thought of.
Okay. So, Ryan,
I'm thinking of another one. Don't worry.
Okay. Just give me a heads up. So, Ryan, let's go into fantasy land.
Okay.
Put your fantasy hat on. If you were given $1 million budget, what type of film would you shoot?
I'd probably shoot like 20 different films.
Oh, you do the Roger Corman method.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I would.
That's too much money to waste on one film.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Why not do 20 of them?
Yeah, and have maybe you could get Jack Black do a cameo. Maybe you got the money, right?
Yeah, that's right. If I had that much money, I wouldn't know what to do with it. I really wouldn't. I'd probably make a horror film.
Yeah, you could hire. I don't know, like.
Okay, I got.
Say you could get like. 1 second, Jace. You could get like Michael Berryman to be the creature. You could get, PJ Souls to be the mom. Like you could do the whole kind.
I always wanted to get Mike. I've tried so hard to get Michael Berryman. Like.
If you want to, you can message me later. I know a director that works with him, has worked with him. Yeah. I'll give you the connection, but he said he's a fabulous guy. Just fabulous.
Yeah. He's the coolest guy. I've met him at conventions, and he's the coolest dude.
And you can also probably get Eric Roberts.
Yeah.
Jace, what's your question, buddy?
What's your favorite movie you worked on so far?
Actually, it's funny. The favorite film I've done is not even a horror movie. we did a film called Inherited Scars, which was a very dark comedy, very much Clerks. I guess that's the best way to put it. It was very much a dialogue ran film. We filmed it really different than any other film I've done, and a lot of the dialogue was very dark and funny, but we shot that, and it's on Tubi, and it's not even a horror movie, like I said, but it's one of my favorite films we've done, and we had the best time making that movie. And it was like we came off of making a horror movie, and like we got to do something different because I'm burnt out.
What movie again?
It's called Inherited Scars.
Okay.
Inherited Scars, everybody. Look on Tubi. I will be checking that one out for damn sure. That's right.
Yeah,
but
it was about two druggies in a small town. It was great.
It reminds me of something that like Stuart Gordon would shoot.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't quite horror, but it's in that, like Stuck, like one of those kind of films. It isn't really horror, but is sort of.
Very tongue-in-cheek.
Very tongue-in-cheek. Excellent. So what direction do you anticipate the horror genre moving towards? Or a better way of saying it is, where would you like it to go towards that it currently isn't?
I see it currently that YouTube, guys making stuff on YouTube are making out better than anyone else.
And now, is that because of the low cost, high profit margin kind of?
Yeah, there's no risk. It's a really a lower risk for studios to take on smaller films like that. And the pendulum swings constantly. I would love to see horror go back the way it was in the 80s, but it just seems like it just keeps changing and evolving differently. So where it's going to go, it's hard to say. But I would love to see it go back to the 80s. That was the glorious time of horror movies. Like all the horror films that were out, those guys were like icons to me. They were my superheroes. Were the Freddys, the Leatherfaces, and all that. You wanted to root for the bad guy. Now you watch a horror movie, you're not really sure what the hell you're watching.
Hey, I'm still rooting for Art the Clown. Don't worry.
I love Art the Clown. He's probably the only one right now doing something good.
Well, and part of the hearkening back to the 80s is going back to the practical effects.
Yes.
Independent film in 1979 looks a lot different than independent film right now.
Absolutely.
I think I see the pendulum swinging back towards practical effects. And you see some directors making a point of spending that little bit extra time and money to give a practical effect versus a 30-second thing you put onto AI and it creates a volcano going off or whatever.
Yes.
I think that's a good thing. A movie like Slither, I think that brings it back to that sort of 80s nostalgia. I really thought the last Evil Dead would kind of pull it back to that time, but it didn't. Yeah. Like there are a few. I haven't seen yet Evil Dead Rise, so I don't know how it is, but we'll see. Now, what is one movie? I know people don't like remakes,
right?
But what a lot of people don't realize is remakes have been happening since the beginning of. In the 40s, they were remaking films from the 1910s. And so a lot of people saying, oh, I don't want another Pet Sematary. I don't want another whatever. Children of the Corn Part 19, whatever it is. What is a film currently or in the history of cinema that hasn't been remade that you could actually live with a well-done remake, or that you would want to lead up and be head vision and director of said film?
Oh, wow. That's a loaded question. Jeez.
It is. That's why I ask them and I don't answer them.
Wow. A film that they haven't remade yet that could be done. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. That you think that would do it, that you would able to do it justice.
Oh, wow. I can't even think of one that would be justified to remake. Like, I keep thinking Jaws, but I'm surprised they haven't done that remake yet,
Yeah, I always go back to there was a film in the early 70s called Deathline, also known as Raw Meat.
Yeah.
And it was shot and It was about the London Underground and cannibals and the one cannibal that's left underground. It's got Christopher Lee and it's got some Donald Pleasance. But I always thought, give that script to Rob Zombie, and he could do something with it. But I wouldn't want to remake an iconic, like, I don't want a new Rosemary's Baby. I don't want a new version of The Devil Rides Out. Like, I just don't. Although I think actually The Devil Rides Out could be done. I think it could be done. And so, yeah. Is there, as a director, a horror or even a non-horror director in the business you don't think gets the credit or the recognition that they deserve?
Wow.
And trust me, Ryan, I didn't try to stump you. I'm not here to
say that one more time. I'm still jogging that one together.
Okay. Is there a director or a producer in the business today, could be in the micro budget world, could be in the $1 million world, that the general public either underappreciates or doesn't know about?
I think this is going to sound bad, but Jerry Bruckheimer gets shitted on a lot, and he makes really bad. He makes a lot of movies, but if it wasn't for him, Texas Chainsaw would have never came back. Like, he brought that out of nowhere. The same thing with Friday the 13th. He was part of all that to bring the old stuff back. As much as a lot of people don't like Jerry Bruckheimer, and I'm not a huge fan either, but if it wasn't for him, a lot of the older stuff would have not been back or remade or what have you. So I kind of give him a little bit of props for sticking his finger in horror and kind of saving it a little bit.
Yeah. I always thought, as a director that never got the credit he deserved, or the recognition, I would say, is Terrence Fisher.
Yeah.
Did the original, the Hammer version of Dracula, the Hammer version of Frankenstein, The Devil Rides Out. So many good films, but you know, like, you hear about even Herschel Gordon Lewis before you hear about Terrence Fisher. And I always thought he didn't get enough credit. But that's just my soapbox.
Even Rob Zombie, I don't think gets enough credit. Like, he gets trashed on. He's doing what he can.
He's better than Danzig.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you've ever seen Veronica, oh boy. Although, again, I'm not going to crap on Danzig for doing it because it was a passion project of his.
Sure.
And I think he fronted most of it because he used it out of his own savings. So I'll give him that. I just didn't care for the storylines.
What was the one D. Snyder did? Strangeland or something?
Strangeland.
Yeah. That wasn't bad.
Strangeland. That's a good, actually, I would say it's a good film.
It is.
Strangeland. And for years and years, Dee wanted to reprise the role, and they never got it going, and now he's too old to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a decent film. So,
do you have any? I was going to say, Jace, do you have anything else?
No.
No? Okay. So now that we're thinking about people that, you know, don't get the appreciation and what could happen, who do you think should be the next Freddy Krueger?
I think Robert Englund's got one more round in him.
Do you think he can still pull it off?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
think he's got one more round in him as well. I honestly do.
Now, the question is, okay, say he's got one more round left in him. I don't know his exact age. I have to say he's probably in his 70s or late 60s. I don't know. It's like, who's going to be the next Bond? Who would you project to be the next Freddy Krueger? Or you know, if you could pluck somebody from the sky and drop him in, who would you do?
Actually, I like the guy that did when they did the kind of the remake or whatever that one version was.
Yep.
Actor's name is in my head, but I thought that was great. I can't remember the guy.
Could you imagine Jim Carrey as Freddy Krueger?
That'd be a silly Freddy Krueger, I think.
Well, there was this great. You probably heard of this. There was a great storyline that the director of Lord of the Rings,
Peter Jackson,
he pitched to I think it was Wes Craven at one time about someone being in a coma and they couldn't get out of the coma, and there was an older Freddy Krueger stuck in the dream with them. So it would be perfect to have Robert Englund come back and do that. And the whole idea of a coma is great.
I just got a note passed to me. Robert Englund is 79.
He still can do it.
But if he's fighting on a rooftop and falls, that might be the end of Freddy.
Well, we'll just keep him on the ground and shuffle around a bit.
Okay, now you said you're working on an anthology film.
Yes.
Life as an independent director, how far ahead do you think? Next film, 2 films, 3 films, or just the film and sweat when it's done?
I always have one main project going, and I always have a side project going.
Oh, you actually have 2 on the go. Okay.
And then I'm always writing, so I have films ready for next year already. So right now I'm doing 13 Steps of Hell, the anthology, but I have a group of us that do ghost hunting. So I actually shoot documentary films on the side called Haunted America. We just released it this year, and we're already working on part 2. But I'm also writing at the same time, so I have 2 projects kind of ready for next year. So I never stop.
I always wondered if you're like Sting or Bono or somebody that has those songs at the bottom of their shelf that they're just sitting there waiting. Do you have the same with scripts and story ideas?
Yeah. I'll write synopses and just some generic ideas and put them in a folder and just kind of get back to it at some point.
All right, we're gonna wrap up soon, but I don't want to leave until I ask you, what is your all-time favorite horror movie and why?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yep, mine too.
You and I talked about it.
Yeah, but for the audience, why was that such a groundbreaking film in your opinion?
Back when they made that film, no one had ever seen anything like that, and it really connected with me because living up in the hills of Pennsylvania, those small farms out in the middle of nowhere, that could be anywhere. That stuff could have happened anywhere, and it always, especially around here where I live, like I had great grandparents that lived on this creepy farm out in the middle of nowhere, and I always thought Texas Chainsaw Massacre could have been here, Leatherface could have been here. And it connected me as a kid so closely that this could happen anywhere. And it's such an iconic character that they came up with. And it just to this day sits home in my heart. That was the film that I really connected to, was Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
All right. Second last question. What single horror film scene scared the bejeebus out of you the most?
As a kid, it was The Exorcist when the bed started shaking.
Oh,
yeah. Scared
now,
to
as an above 30 adult, what one scares you the most, or do they even anymore?
Actually, I have a phobia with eyeballs, so I don't remember which Saw movie where the lady had to go through her eyeball to get the key. Yeah, I think it was a lady or a guy or something. They had to go through their eye to get the key that was in their skull. Yeah, that I'm like, whoa, you got me.
I thought you were going to go to Fulci's The Beyond.
No,
there's the.
I don't even know.
See, you do this, I do this. I want to see a close up. I want to see how close it looks. No. Sorry, Jace, do you have any more last questions?
Yeah. How did you get into the film business?
Did you just stumble upon it, or was there some high school drama teacher that said, "I think you have an eye for set design" or something?
I had a little bit of support in high school. I went to college for filmmaking, which were a lot of classes available at that time. But I was shooting short films, and I really bugged the hell out of distribution companies at the time. And I would ask them, "What's selling? What's good right now? Or what are you looking for?" They were always very nice to me and would say, "If you make a movie like this, you should be good." So it was always blood and nudity. And
it's the Roger Corman blood, boobs, and beasts. Yeah. If you got those, you got yourself a film.
You're good to go. So we made this really crappy movie called Serial Killer, and it was good enough that a distributioner took, and at that point, that's all you wanted to do was get distribution. You're like, we got distribution. We're filmmakers. This is it. And little did I know that wasn't it. And that's where I said,
little did you realize it cost you more to make it than you would get back.
Exactly. But that's when it started. The ride started. I'm like, from 2000 to now, we've been making movies. And lucky for me is that we always made a promise that any money we made on a movie went back to the next movie. So fast forward 26 years, I've been rotating the same money over the years. So every year, I know about what we're going to make, and that's how much we have to go make the next movie. I never put it in my pocket. It's just, here's the money for the next film. So we've been blessed.
Something I've always wondered about, how difficult it is to contact Tubi or Prime, or heaven forbid you get onto Netflix. How is that process?
You don't. you have to get a film aggregator, and then you have to do a process with them. You have to go through their QC process, and they actually are the ones that will shop your film to those channels. They might pick it up. They might not.
So they're almost like an agent who peddles them.
Pretty much, yeah.
Gotcha. I was going to say,
it's really a gamble. You don't know if they're going to take it or not.
Yeah, it's just you throw the spaghetti at the wall and see if it sticks.
Yeah, we've been lucky enough that Tubi's been a big one. Prime has been a big one. There's a lot of independent streaming networks popping up, and they're kind of growing. So it looks bright for streaming.
Like you could go to Fossum, you could go to Plex, there are a few other ones floating out there.
Yeah, but you also have to have like a catalog of films. So you get one film under, you'll make a little bit of money, but you're not making a lot. You almost need like 10 of them going and rotating.
Hence you shoot 2 at a time.
My brain never stops.
I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
The one scene for me that made me scared, even as a hardcore horror fan, was the bathtub scene in I Spit Your Grave.
Yeah.
I spit on your grave. That bathtub scene where she reaches her hand underneath it. Woo! And she locks the door and just sits there and listens to him. Oh my gosh. That's scary as anything. Last question. If you were to have a film made about yourself, who would you want to play you as the struggling independent director, producer, lead actor, what have you?
Can I go big or do I have to go small?
You can go as big as you want. If you want to get Jimmy Stewart to play you go ahead.
I'm very. I think Tom Hardy is an incredible actor, and I enjoy his work and just about everything he does. So I would have to go with him.
Okay. See, I was thinking like Schwarzenegger.
No, I want a real actor.
You're not getting him for a cameo now. That's not going to happen.
That's okay.
But Ryan, this has been absolutely awesome. We got to have you on again, and we can talk about further depths of the horror industry that we didn't get into and films you're doing. But can you tell the audience or those that are interested, where can they find you, hear you, see you? How can they reach out to you?
All the social media areas of Ryan Cavalline or Legend Hunter Films. Our website, legendhunterfilms.com. Anything in the streaming world, type in one of the movies, it should pop up somewhere in any of the streaming outfits right now. So just pick a movie and stream.
So I now know when I see your films, there are going to be lots of boobs and blood. So everybody check them out.
It's a formula. You got to have
a formula. And damn it, it works. So I'm going to stick with it.
Distributioners only watch the first 10 minutes of it. You better have all those 3 in there in the first round, or they just toss it.
You better have a creature attacking a woman with a claw mark and the shirt flies off.
It's bestseller.
Bestseller. Okay. Well, Ryan, this has been absolutely wonderful. If there's anybody out there that wants the use of a very skilled micro budget director, give Ryan a call. Big Hoss, do you have any last words?
Nice meeting you, Brian. It was good chatting with you.
Thank you. A
And
1,000 thank yous for having me on. I appreciate it.
no problem. And as I said, when you finish 13 Steps to Hell, let us know, and or send us a screener. We'll promote it, what have you. And so we can't wait to have you back. I know the audience has listened and enjoyed it. I've had a lot of fun. You can tell by how giggly I am. I enjoyed this. So, Brian, if you're ever shooting a film in Toronto, I want to be an extra.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Justin, you can get her going, closing up. This has been Bill Van Vagel on the Airway Kingdom Network, music, movie, sports, and stuff. Have a great day. Don't drink and drive, and let's be good people.